Yo, what is up, fans? Welcome to the 2-for-1 show. We are here. I am live. It is your boy, TPJ. I am here. I have two special guests today. I have one joining us from Chicago. He is a diehard Bulls fan, a diehard Bears fan, as I am myself. We are experiencing some tough times. Pray for us. My other guest, you know him already, the hot take purveyor himself. Actually, you know both of my guests. Brother Scott and Pavy. I'm going to bring them on in a quick second, but tonight on the 2-for-1 show, we are going to recap some NBA action. LeBron had another monster night, another 30-plus, 10-plus assist night for LeBron. He also was 50+% from the field goal, range this year. I'm sorry, not this year, today. Giannis dropped a 50 ball today. Melo annihilated the Bulls, which is mind-blowing. The Brooklyn Nets are now above 500 when they were below 500 when Kyrie was there. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We are here. We are live right now on the 2-for-1 show. Let me welcome my guest, Scott. Brother Scott, what is up? Pavy, what is up? How you doing? Welcome, you guys, to the 2-for-1 show. I appreciate you guys for coming through as always. Family, let's go ahead. Let's hop into tonight's NBA action. Obviously, when you think about the Greek freak, this guy Giannis, we looked at this guy and we kind of wondered to ourselves, would we, would he be able to take that step? Would he be able to get better? Would he be able to expand his game? Would he be able to evolve his game? I remember Pavy telling me, if Giannis is shooting over 5 threes a game, it's a problem. It's a problem. They're going to have trouble. Giannis has been, he's ain't there, but he's pretty close. Today he went 3 of 8 from the field, dropped the 50 ball on the Jazz that did not have Rudy Gobert out there tonight. But still, regardless, the Utah Jazz are still a tough defensive team. What did you guys think about Giannis' 50-point game tonight? Is Giannis the best player in the NBA? Let's talk about Giannis.
I think Giannis definitely is the best player in the NBA right now. I think he just kind of taking it to another level. I think the biggest question mark for him last year was he going to be able to get some more offensive in the Eastern Conference Finals. And so I feel like he's been working on that, man. He's been getting more moves. His jump shot is a little better. He's shooting threes and actually hitting some of them. And I feel like he's just taking his game to a next level, to the point where it's like you really have no answer for him at all. And the fact that he's doing all of this, without Chris Middleton and they have another injury too, if I'm not mistaken. But the fact they're doing all this, staying alive in the East right now, in the hunt, especially with the way Philly hasn't really been playing that well.
They're number one in the East right now. They actually have the second best record in the NBA currently.
Okay, right after the Lakers. So, I mean, he's been balling out, right? If I had to vote MVP right now, I think it's a pretty thick race with him, Harden, Bron, and Luka, but I'll probably still get an edge to him right now.
Pavy, go ahead. Speak to us. What are your thoughts on Giannis' 50-point performance? He shot 8 threes tonight, which was a decent amount of threes for a guy like Giannis. Did you get a chance to check out any of this performance tonight? What are your thoughts on Giannis?
I watched, I think I want to say the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
I think Giannis did something in the third. I forgot what it was, but I was like, wow. But I mean, Gobert wasn't there, so I'm not gonna go crazy over the 50 points because I don't think he's scoring 50 if Gobert if Gobert is on the court. But still, I said Giannis got better. Excuse me. I was impressed when I went to see Giannis in person. He's just continuing doing what he's been doing all year. And to me, like Scott said, what makes him more impressive is he's doing this with Middleton out. So when I was, talking about MVP ratings, I always talk about, hey, who did more with less. Like the same reason I said Harden deserved it last year is the reason why so far this year, I think Giannis deserved it. He got the second best record in the league with his co-star hurt, and Brogdon ain't on the team no more. But also, I got to give the Bucks management credit for building a really, really good team around Giannis. Even guys like Pat Connaughton stepping up, Wesley Matthews stepping up. Now granted, we got to see how it shakes out in the playoffs, but they kind of offset the fact that Brogdon isn't there anymore. Even you see a guy like Robert Lopez stepping out shooting threes now. He ain't hitting too many of them, but he's stepping out shooting them.
Yeah, he was doing it last year a little bit with the Bulls.
2-3 years ago.
He was doing that last year with the Bulls, though. Scott, you can attest to this. Am I wrong?
Who's Rolo?
Yeah, Rolo.
He was doing
last year when he was turning into Wilt
Chamberlain
Chamberlain randomly on people.
Credit to the Bulls, the Bucks for putting a great team around Giannis. They understand that it's also kind of funny to see when he drives the lane, people pretty much have to collapse. So it's this one easy pass out to a completely open shooter. So shout out to the Bucks for recognizing that they needed to get more shooting and going to get more shooting. And shout out to Giannis for utilizing that shooting.
I mean, okay, this is an honest question. Did the Bucks really go and get more shooting? What more shooting do they have? Pat Connaughton was there. Like the only difference is Wesley Matthews. Wesley Matthews is not.
Kyle Korver.
Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot about Korver. I forgot about Korver. Korver's actually had some great games this year playing alongside Giannis. Okay, I'm not upset with that.
Again, even
and they also retain Ilyasova.
Like the fact that Rollo is 7 foot and like basically in the playoffs, if they want to, some games they can run Brooke Lopez, Robin Lopez, Giannis, Middleton, and Bledsoe or Hill. Yeah, that's like 3 7-footers on the court.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But in terms of the Bucks, what do you think their ceiling is this year? I mean, obviously last year they got eliminated, in the conference finals by Kawhi. After taking those first 2 games, the Bucks came back and they, roared and beat them in 4 straight games. It was pretty embarrassing. And Giannis, definitely, acknowledged that he didn't feel that he was at his peak. I believe he said that he was at around 65% of what he felt he could be after last season. So going forward with the Bucks, what do you think are the key things for them? Do you think that, now, really now that we're getting to November, we're getting in kind of the season and in the territory of where where we might start to see trades? If you're the Bucks, are you trying to do anything else to bolster this roster? Are there any players that you're looking at that may be underrated that you can maybe steal from a team to try to see that you can get? Or do you think that they have enough once everybody comes back and they're healthy?
I think they're still. I actually think they can make the NBA Finals. I'm not really impressed with the top of the East, with the East in general. Philly, I just do not like as a team. I feel like the Jimmy Butler loss was really, really big. Yeah. Especially the way you see Jimmy hooping in Miami, getting those young guys going. I think that Boston could be a favorite if they go get like a guy like a Trisha Thompson or Steven Adams at the deadline. But if they're just going to be completely how they are constructed, I like Milwaukee. But if I'm Milwaukee, I'll try to go get some shooting. But the home run ball is go get Chris Paul. I would love to see Chris Paul with Giannis.
No, I wish y'all would stop this, bro. Why do you want them to take on $45 million? Go ahead.
No, I mean, but the window's open. You got to take advantage, especially when you only got a year or 2 left before Giannis decides what he wants to do.
I've been in that locker room, bro.
On the table, I go ahead and do that.
I've been in that locker room. I've been in actually both locker rooms, and this is no disrespect to Chris Paul because he was gracious enough to answer my question. So I said I was not going to slander this man anymore. But there's definitely a difference between the 2 locker rooms. The Bucks have a younger, kind of a nice mix of like vets and older guys. I see the younger guys hanging out with the younger guys. They're stretching to each other. They're talking to each other. They're showing each other stuff on their phone, on their phones. When I went into the Thunder locker room, I didn't really see that many people in there. They weren't really talking to each other. They were all just kind of looking in their locker rooms and not speaking to each other. Now, that's not to say that they have a bad locker room, but Chris Paul is known as being the guy that's not a great locker room guy, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. So what? So what? I done been in plenty of locker rooms after the game where they ain't mad because they lost.
Gee, they literally had just.
So what? It's the regular season.
Chris Paul, everybody knows I can't stand that dude, but he wants to win. And I feel like you got a guy like Giannis who doesn't really have the ego. You don't have to really worry about him clashing with a guy like Chris Paul. And the way Chris Paul pushes players, I think Giannis would actually like that.
Giannis won't like that, bro. Giannis won't like that. If Harden didn't like it, Giannis won't like it. Because Giannis is getting.
Giannis not like Harden or Blake. He's not going to put him in a headlock. I feel like he likes those type of guys who just want to hoop. And honestly, even with the young guys in the Bucks locker room, I think CP3 is doing pretty well with those young guys in the Thunder locker room. Like, they're not, like, terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, yes, the contract is a huge issue. But if I'm the Bucks locker room, if I'm the Bucks front office, there's a trade I can do to get him without giving up too much, I'm going to do it. Because in a while, it's going to be decision time for Giannis. And you don't want to look like an expansion team when he leaves.
So it's decision time for Giannis. So it's decision time for Giannis, but giving him an aging point guard is the answer?
The thing about Chris Paul is...
That's my question.
The thing about Chris Paul is, like, I think what you discount is, like, Chris Paul's basketball IQ. It's just, like, it's certain small things that he does. For instance, like, okay, we in a bonus. I'm going to get a rip-through foul right here because, like, a team is on the run and, like, go to the line and get 2 free throws. Chris Paul isn't bad. Even if you saw the game against the Clippers, he wasn't bad in that game. Chris Paul's still good. I mean, like, bro, he guarded Paul George and LeBron James on back-to-back nights and did a good job at 6 feet. Am I lying about that?
No, he did do a good job.
So, like, again, I don't go with Scott. Like, granted, I don't want to break up my whole team to bring in Chris Paul. I'm not doing that. Like, no, I think that the Bucks still have, with this team, have a good enough nucleus to at least, I mean, if you know, Giannis is going to keep playing the way that
I hate that this trade works. I hate that this trade works. I'm so mad this trade works. Who else? I'm so mad this trade works out. They're going to make this trade, and Giannis is going to leave them high and dry, and Chris Paul is going to be, you know what's going to happen to the Bucks? They're going to wind up being exactly who they were on that team when they had Gary Payton and Sam Cassell. And there's no disrespect to Gary Payton and Sam Cassell. But Gary Payton and Sam Cassell were old as hell in that team. It was Gary Payton and Sam Cassell that was on the Bucks at that point in time, right?
Gary Payton was there for like 1 year, wasn't he though?
Yeah.
Gary Payton was where?
At the Bucks.
Bucks.
Who was that played with Sam Cassell on the Bucks?
Yeah, he was there for like 1 year. Yeah. That was like,
I think he was there for like
yeah. When he played with Sam Cassell. Yeah. Yes. Huh?
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna look like again if you get that man.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Really
Watch.
Don't like this guy.
Remember, no, it's not about me not liking him. I like Giannis. I want to see Giannis thrive, but this is not the way to go. Go get somebody younger. You just let Brogdon go.
I want to hear this trade because obviously it works.
Okay, so the trade is, and by the way, Pavy, tilt your webcam up. It's Eric Bledsoe, Ilyasova, and George Hill after his restriction is up.
That's too much. That's too much.
For Chris Paul.
That's too much.
Then it's not going to work because the salary's not going to match. Because the only people are Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez. You want to trade Brook Lopez away?
Yo, I ain't giving him Middleton, bro.
No. I didn't say Middleton. I said you give up Bledsoe, George Hill, and Ilyasova for Chris Paul.
It's too much. Too much. Can the Thunder send you anybody back in that trade?
Why would I?
Can we get Nerlens? Can we get Nerlens back?
Nerlens, let's see. Hold on, let's see. Let me try. Because it's got all these damn restrictions on it and stuff.
Or hold on, or the Thunder have mad picks. Give me 2 of your first round picks.
No, it's a successful trade with Nerlens still in the trade.
Okay, so
back to Milwaukee.
Okay, look, so give me Nerlens. Give me.
But he has but he has a no trade clause, so he has to agree to be traded. And also, according to this, and look, and according to TradeNBA.com, this increases the Thunder. Huh?
Who got a no trade clause?
Nerlens Noel.
Alright. Oh, my bad.
But this would decrease the Bucks' win by 7 projected wins according to this trade. I don't believe that it's a good trade. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's move on. I actually want to talk about the kid LaMelo Ball, man. This dude, I was randomly up last night, and I followed the NBL on online, and LaMelo Ball went crazy last night. This man had a triple-double. He had 32. What do you have? He had 32 points, 13 assists, and 10 rebounds in the game in Australia. Now, we've seen Australian teams play NBA teams in the preseason. Usually they all get washed, although last year, one of them Australian teams gave the OKC Thunder hella run with Russ and PG on the floor last year in the preseason. Go back and rewatch that game.
Was it Melbourne?
It was one of them. It was one of them, but I believe they all play in the same league. But regardless, still, we've seen LaMelo Ball do this. He's a projected number 1 pick for next year. What are you guys' thoughts so far on LaMelo? I'm not sure how much college, basketball you've watched, but do you think that he's, really got the potential to make this number 1 pick happen?
I like Melo, man. I think he definitely could be in the top pick conversation. I think it's kind of too early to tell what the other guys in college, see how those dudes are doing, but he hooping. I think the biggest thing I'm excited about Melo coming to the NBA is we're gonna have a new era of LeVar Ball.
Because Lonzo's a bust, bro. Lonzo's a bust. I hate to say it, Lonzo's a bust, bro. I love Zoe. But I saw Zoe yesterday and it made me depressed, bro. That shit made me sad seeing that man out there.
I'm not gonna say Lonzo's a bust. I'm just saying New Orleans is not at all the best fit for him. Reason being is because, especially
when how many times we gonna say this though?
No, I thought LA was a good fit for him, but then you bring in Braun and want to make him a damn shooting guard. What is he supposed to do? even in like now with New Orleans, right? Okay, so even more when you bring Zion back, you're gonna bring Zion back and have Lonzo there and Ingram and Jackson Hayes. Somebody got to stretch the floor. So Redick has to be the one move into that starting lineup. It's just like it's not the best situation for Lonzo. That's why LeVar was like, "Yo, Phoenix is the best destination for my son." I thought it would have been. Like, you can't tell me Lonzo can't do what like it looks somewhat what Rubio doing.
I think Zion not being there is a big part of it, but Lonzo is a big part of it, man. I was taking pictures of Lonzo all game long. Listen to me. I'm a Lonzo Ball fan, but Lonzo.
I think the injury is the biggest part of it. He can't stay healthy. But the Pelicans got players. Like, there's no excuse for Lonzo not to be playing better when he
Exactly. He's not playing good. I keep waiting for him to get better. It's not happening, bro.
But those players don't really fit with him. Like, I think he needs the ball. Like, I mean,
so what players fit with his style?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I thought Zion was a great fit with it.
He is still. I mean, he ain't going nowhere.
I mean, yeah, I thought Zion was a great fit with it, but I don't know. I personally just don't think Lonzo was a bust yet. I'm not ready to put the bus title on him yet.
I'm not ready to put the bus title on him, but he's pulling into Bus Boulevard. That's for sure. He's driving around the corner.
Yeah. So my question is, can LaMelo Ball be the number one pick?
Lord Market on the corner collecting money.
With obviously with the scandals going on currently surrounding the big man in Memphis. I think it pretty much kind of really opens up the lane for LaMelo Ball to really be the number one pick in this draft. Like, I look at the offense that he's playing and the offense that he's running. It's an NBA style offense. Like, it's not like they're running these college sets like you see a lot of the times. He's 6'7", I think. He's 6'7". He's 6'7". Yeah. He's 6'7". He can shoot from 40. Really, the man literally, like, I won't lie. One of the most memorable moments in basketball history was that man walking up to the half court line, pointing at it and pulling that motherfucker. Like, I've never seen nothing like that in my life, especially from a kid. And for the switch, like, yo, what's going on with you, bro? But I really do think that he can, do it. I've been paying close attention to all of the tape that I've been seeing. I'm looking at him, and I really legitimately think he can be like Kobe mixed with LeBron. Like, he still ain't even got his man body yet. It's not a wild comparison, bro. He's 18.
Real quick. Hold on, wait. Why can't you just say he's a new and improved Penny Hardaway? That's better.
Because that's disrespectful to what I think he could be.
You see, hold on, wait, and now you disrespectful to Penny.
I don't care about being disrespectful to Penny. Penny the reason why he's playing on number one. That ain't my fault.
What does Kobe and LeBron even look like? That's two opposite human beings.
No, it's not. It's really not. It's really not, though. Think about it. It's LeBron if he can shoot like Kobe, bro. That's who he gonna be. He can't jump like the man. He can't jump. I disagree with that. I think he can pass as good as Bron. Have you seen him pass? He been throwing it in Australia.
Listen.
He been throwing the rock all over the pond, all over the shrimp on the bobby. What do you mean?
If you can score like Kobe and not passing like LeBron, it don't even make no.
What are you talking about? Do you not see James Harden dropping 38 and still give you 10 assists sometimes? Exactly. Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. He bigger than James Harden. He gonna be LeBron James mixed with Kobe B. Bryant. Remember, I said it.
Harden don't score like Kobe. Luka don't score like Kobe. They can shoot.
LaMelo does. That's what I'm saying.
All right, man.
Okay? He ain't scared to take 40 shots in the game. That's how you score like Kobe.
So then you not gonna be.
But on normal nights, he gonna give you 7 to 10 assists like LeBron.
I see where you're going. You just take two of the top 5 players ever. That's a wild comparison.
It's not, bro.
Why can't you just say the new and improved?
Because the new guys are better. The new guys are better.
Listen. Literally, Penny Hardaway is a version of Kobe
Stop
Bryant.
disrespecting LaMelo Ball, G.
How you disrespecting LaMelo?
Stop disrespecting LaMelo Ball, G. Stop being. This man been a superstar since he was 14 years old. All right, stop that.
Penny was an All-NBA second.
He had his own goddamn basketball league, and he was 16. Shut your ass up.
That was the Bars league, man.
That was his league.
That was the Bars league.
Who was the star player in the league? Who was the star?
Like literally, how is Carly?
G, that's like having the big three with no Ice Cube.
LaMelo Ball.
G, that's like the big three with no Ice Cube. That's like the big three with no Ice Cube.
Do you know how cold? No, not even know. I do know. No, do you know how cold?
Do you know how cold I think LaMelo Ball gonna be?
We don't know yet, dog.
I'm telling you what he. I'm telling you right now.
Listen. I think LaMelo's gonna be really good. I think that when you look at him, for one, he's an actual point guard, but he has great size. Obviously, you 6'8", you can like seal the defense. He's not jumping out the gym, but he has a decent amount of athletic ability. He's been around pros. He's played in pro leagues, and he has the advantage of seeing somebody. Two advantages. Money, number one. When you grow up in money, you get access to better training and things like that. And also, his brother was in the NBA. And his older brother did some idiot shit. So basically, he has like both of the spectrum. Okay, I know what I should do. I know what I shouldn't do. I know how to take care of my body because I've seen my brother being in the NBA. So he has the advantages that other kids don't have, as well as he played in pro leagues since the time he was whatever.
See, I got mad respect for LeVar Ball, so I'm not gonna say anything about LiAngelo Balls because I got mad respect for Big LeVar. So shout out to LeVar for giving me that interview because. Don't steal anything, LaMelo. Just do us a favor, please. Thank you.
Will he be the number one pick? We'll see. I think that some. You got Cole Anthony's a nice guard from North Carolina. He's looked nice. I still think no matter what, Jameis Winston is gonna be a top 2 pick. I don't think that him sitting like not playing in college is gonna affect that too much. I think not playing in college actually might help him. Because you don't get to have a scouting report and find out his weaknesses. All he do is show up at the combine, have workouts, see his measurements, be like, oh my God, I gotta pick him. And I think maybe, a team or here or there might maybe be worried about like dealing with his dad. But I think that he's definitely number 1 pick type talent. I think that if he were in college, I think that if he were actually in college, like just in the NCAA, he'd be probably the slated number 1 pick because he was that when he was 16 years old.
Yeah. I think he's still going to be the number 1 pick because, like I mentioned before, we've seen NBA teams play against Australian teams. So for that simple fact alone, I truly believe that if I'm and also the thing about it is he's been getting rave reviews from NBA scouts. I've been seeing more positive stuff from NBA scouts about him than I ever saw about Lonzo. And everybody when they talk about Lonzo, they was talking to me about Lonzo's hype. I'm looking at LaMelo Ball. People aren't talking to me about his height. They're talking to me about his skill on the basketball court, his ability to pass, his ability to shoot, his ability to run in the pick and roll. He already could come into the NBA next year and be a top 20 pick and roll player, I think. And legitimately, he's been playing against grown men for the past 3 years. He's lived in at least 6 different countries by now. I mean, you can't get no more culture than that. And also, he don't do stupid shit like we know that, people sometimes around him are prone to do. So shout out to LaMelo. But anyways, moving on, 2-for-1 show. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Brooklyn versus the Cavs. Pavy, did you see any of this game?
No, I was in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
What?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching Lamar Jackson break off the rims. I didn't see 1 second.
Okay. Well. Anyways.
I know I do know that the Nets won though.
Anyways, the Brooklyn Nets did win. They beat the Cavs by 1 point. Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing lights out for them lately. I mean, this guy, he dropped 23 tonight. I'm sorry, they didn't win by 1 point. They won by 2 points. They won 108-106. He dropped 23 tonight. He dropped, I believe, 30 plus the other night. I think, the real issue for the Nets to me is in terms of, what they're going to be like as it pertains to chemistry when Kyrie comes back.
Don't do this. Don't hold on.
No, stop. Let me finish. I'm not talking about locker room chemistry. I'm talking about on the floor chemistry.
I am too. Look, Burke hurt too. It ain't just Kyrie.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. But guys, but I'm looking at guys getting more opportunities to be able to go out there and do what they need to do. And they look like they playing more team basketball than they were before when your man was just out there jacking up shots. Karis LeVert, 23 points, 30 points, 23 points the last couple games. 9 assists, 4 assists, 7 assists. Huh?
LeVert got something to do with that too. Don't do that because I hate when they're Kyrie out, like he the only person out, and they started winning. LeVert got hurt too.
I mean, you can't avoid the facts.
Okay, look, Pavy's right, but it's funnier when you point out they're 5-1 without Kyrie.
I agree.
The Celtics had a better record without Kyrie last year.
They're 5-1 without Kyrie. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, 5-1 without Kyrie
and LeVert because he been hurt about the same amount of time too.
I agree with you from a hoop perspective. You're 100% correct.
With Kyrie and LeVert,
But LeVert don't move headlines.
I feel you. Let me just add up the shots. With Kyrie and LeVert out, basically Kyrie taking 22 shots, which needs to drop, needs to get down to about 20, and LeVert's taking 16 shots.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
So basically, you got what, like damn near 40 shots a game missing. Yeah, everybody else hooping. You got 40 extra shots to do something with.
I mean, but you're winning though. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about the hoops. It's about the wins.
But also, what's the schedule been like the past couple games too?
You had
the Cavs, you had
schedule, schmedule. I don't want to hear that, man.
I'm just
schedule,
schmedule. I'm just saying.
Hold on, we didn't hear you with the OJ. I'm just saying.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
You just said the Lakers been winning because they got a weak schedule. What's the next schedule like? Have they played anybody? How many good wins do they have?
That doesn't matter. They racking up wins. When Kyrie, no. You want to know why it doesn't matter? No. Do you want to know why it doesn't matter? Because when Kyrie was there, they weren't. Regardless of who they was playing, they were not racking up wins.
They look. Listen.
They had a sub 500 record.
November 8th. Listen. Since November 8th, they beat the Blazers, lost to the Suns, Jazz, Nuggets, beat the Bulls, lost to the Pacers, beat the Hornets, Kings, Knicks. Then pass today. They got the Celtics back to back.
Okay, you just told me last night that the Hornets weren't a bad team. You told me last night that the Hornets weren't a bad team. Make up your mind.
They not, but they not great.
Okay, all right.
They better than the Bulls. No. My thing was they are better than the Chicago Bulls.
Who not better than the Bulls?
There we go. That's my thing. They better than the Bulls. They ain't great. They better than the Bulls though.
I'm about to say everybody better than the Bulls.
If they beat both Boston teams and the Heat back to back, then we can talk about them without Kyrie.
All right, well, we'll see. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's move on. The Pacers beat the Grizzlies. Ja Morant.
Ja got hurt.
Ja took a hard fall. Everybody on Twitter.
No, he got back, but I'm worried about Ja, man. I am too.
Every time, gives me D-Rose vibes.
Bro,
he gotta learn how to win.
No, he gotta learn how to use his body. Like, Ja is so athletic that he's like too athletic for his body right now. And it's like he thinks that I can do everything. And it's like, yeah, you can, but you trying to play 15 years, bro.
Yeah, because he's trying to prove himself.
Yeah, it's like every time I watch Ja, it's like
he played like Shea to me.
Scared, bro.
He played like Shea to me. Shea plays that way, but Shea's not as athletic as Ja.
Yeah, exactly. But Shea plays at one speed. Ja plays at one speed, but torques his body a lot. Like Shea for the most part is like straight up and down. Like I don't even think Shea gonna have injuries like that. Like everything like 80% of what Ja does looks like you might get hurt.
Yeah. Especially when he dunks.
Yeah.
Bro, that dunk he did against Houston,
I was like, dude, relax.
Literally, I was like, yo, did he just dead destroy his knee?
His leg bent like a pretzel, dog.
Russ came over to him after the game, and I wasn't even there, but I know Russ was like, chill out, dog. Hey, bro, chill. Like, I know I was you. I could jump high too. Chill, bro.
I mean, look, I'm not going to judge the young guy because knowing his father, knowing the background that he came up in, he was built off of competition. His father, has said many a times in all of those, things of, behind the scenes stories was like, oh, well, I pushed my boy to be hard and wasn't easy around here. So if I'm Ja, I'm trying to get it because that's what I'm used to. He does have to slow down. I say the same thing about Shea. I like Shea, but Shea is still playing at 100 miles per hour. Eventually, Ja Morant will learn that I can still get to the same destination, but sometimes I don't got to go 100 miles. Sometimes I can go 60. Sometimes I can go 55. Sometimes I can just slow down and realize I'm in traffic, so I ain't got to, stop every time I'm in traffic. I can just slow down. Like even when Kobe, talked to the knuckleheads, Darius, Miles and Quentin Richardson. He talked a lot about how Eddie Jones helped him in terms of his growth and development as a player, and how he helped him a lot with learning how to get around picks and screens and being able to preserve his body when going around screens and dive around screens and things like that. Ja needs a veteran point guard there to be able to teach him some stuff like that, and I don't really know if they have the person to do that. I just hope that he can kind of really learn his lessons before he really does hurt himself on some freak accident stuff just because he's trying to put on a show. You can put on a show and still preserve your body. I truly believe in that. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the Celtics, man. They continue to roll. Luke Walton's Kings lose, but I mean they're around 500. Obviously, the Celtics are still going to roll, and when Gordon Hayward gets back, things are going to continue to trend upwards for them. For the Kings, do you think that the Kings have any shot to make the playoffs right now? I mean, currently, they're kind of meandering around that same spot that everybody kind of is, in right now. I think that this team, when Bagley gets back, we're still not sure when he's going to get back or when Swiper's going to get back. Exactly what we're going to get from these guys. But do you think the Kings have any potential to make the playoffs this year, Scott?
Nah. I think the West is too deep, man. I think they're like a nice little competitive team, but I just can't see them getting 8, man. I think when Zion gets back, I'm still picking the Pelicans to try to get in that conversation. And you know what I'm saying? I just don't believe that Luke Walton is a coach either. So I think that has a lot to do with it also, like long term. If this is the East, for sure. But in the West, I can't see it.
I mean, personally, I think they got to. Well, I think it depends on how they can tread water until the rest of their team comes back. I think is Bogdanovich out too? Is he? Did he play? So. Or was he out too?
Let's see. Yes, Bogdanovich played tonight.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Like, I mean, you got Swiper and you got Bagley out. Like, I think that because I think that in the West, that 8 seed is still kind of open. Like, you got the Pelicans there. I'm still not giving up on the Blazers yet. They won tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next.
Win their next game. Like, I'm not giving up on the Blazers yet. But I think that 8 spot is open. I think the top 7, we kind of like know who that's gonna be. But that 8 spot, we don't know. I mean, so we don't know. Like, again, I guess it depends on when those guys come back. If those guys can come back and get it rolling, then maybe they can. I don't know.
All right, yeah. I personally think that they do have a shot. I mean, looking at kind of where they're sitting right now, they are in the 9th spot. Phoenix has been looking a little finicky the past 10 games. They're currently 4-6 in their last, 10 games. The Blazers are still 3-7 in their last 10 games. The Spurs are terrible. I just want to say I called it. They're terrible. They lost tonight to the Lakers. We're gonna talk about that last. And OKC is still there. So I think that it's for the Kings, it just depends on where things shake out for them. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony's Blazers, because currently right now he's been lighting it up against the Bulls. He lit it up tonight against the Bulls.
He even dunked on somebody.
He even dunked on Wendell Carter Jr. Wendell Carter Jr. Come on, man.
And got a FaceTime call from his son mid-game.
Mid-game. That did.
Huh?
Mid-game.
What? Was in the crowd on FaceTime, and she showed Melo the FaceTime. He saluted him mid-game.
That is hilarious, bro.
As the Bulls lost by 25, and Jim Boylan went to the podium and said, "Well, I think we tried."
That's not what he said. Say the whole quote.
No, that's what he said. I think we tried.
He said, I think we missed some shots, and we got discouraged from that, and we had to play through that. That's a fair quote.
That is not a quote.
Look it up.
That's not a quote.
Yes, it is.
Okay, look. Okay. How about this? I got the quote right here. This is what he said.
I thought throughout the game, I felt like we just left some points out.
Come on, man.
For whatever reason, missed open 3. We missed 2 doubles at the free throw line. We left some points that I think we could have, and I think it hurt our spirit a little bit. And
what? We left some points out there, so it hurt our spirit. What are you? A 5th grade rec league?
That's not it.
What are you, a 5th grade rec league?
The quote from the media member, I thought we tried. That's what he said.
There's nothing wrong with that. We tried.
This high school coach.
We tried.
Said we tried.
We tried. Like, look, I have no issue with that. Y'all came out and y'all gave effort. I didn't think y'all lose by
Yo, bro, this man, yo, Marcus D3 on Twitter been mad as hell all season long, bro.
Like, you can, get into a game where it's like you down 10-4 because, again, you gotta remember, the Blazers' home team did play. On paper, the Blazers have a miles better team than what the Bulls do on paper. Yeah, am I wrong about that? I said, on paper, the Blazers are miles ahead of what the Bulls are. Team, player to player. Okay, look. You can try and lose by 23. It's possible. Maybe you get late in the fourth.
Okay, but it's not. Time out. We're not gonna act like this is just the Blazers. The Bulls have lost 31 of their last 40 home games with Boylan as head coach.
It ain't his fault.
Hold on,
Gee, this man Melo really got a call in the game. Gee, Melo, yeah.
Look at the team.
What we not gonna do
Gee,
is not like the Bulls don't have some talent.
They cool, not much.
Hold on, but they could be playing a lot much better right now if they had a coach who was actually decent.
Not really.
What?
You
Not
act like
really.
the team has no.
I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're that good.
You act like
It is.
Nah.
It is.
Nah.
It is. It's comparable. It's comparable.
No, it's not.
No. Outside of that.
It's
bro.
possible.
That we lost solely because of Jim Boylan.
Listen.
If it
Outside
wasn't
of
for
that.
Zach catching the Holy Ghost, we lose that game because of
Okay.
Boylan's defensive rotation.
Okay, hold on, wait. The Hornets have a better team. Top to bottom.
On paper, I don't think they have a better team.
They
I
do.
think they try
Should
hard.
Boylan be
No.
fired?
I
No.
think talent-wise, they don't have a better
They
team.
do. They
They
have. The Bulls have one person. And hold on, wait, because Otto not playing right now, is he? Otto out, right?
He's
Otto
out.
out, ain't he? Okay,
Yeah.
then look, ain't that much talent on the court. I like Zach. I like Kobe. I like
It's a
Wendell.
good time.
I don't like nobody else.
The Hornets have better.
They do.
Hornets- no,
Without
Hornets-
Otto, they do.
The Hornets play better and they have a better coached team.
No, they have more
That's
talent.
a bit different.
Devontae Graham's better than everybody on the Bulls outside of Zach LaVine.
No, he's not. He's
Tell
not
me a lie.
better than Jr.
Yes, he is.
Not better than Carter
This
Jr.
season, yes, he is.
He's not a better player than
Yes,
Carter.
he is.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
All right. Any final
we
thoughts?
never-
Will the Bulls
bro.
turn this around at all? How many
No.
games will the Bulls win this season?
30.
They're not winning 30. They're winning 25.
Okay.
Gee.
LaMelo on the way, though.
Yo, that's funny as hell, yo.
They're not going to draft LaMelo because Pax don't want to deal with LeVar.
Well, Winston on the way.
Gee, look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the.
I was
look at the.
I was finna say
look at the
something
preview of the
about
video.
With Shelby
Look
on.
at that picture of
I would
Melo.
say
That's
that- I would say
hilarious.
that comment
yo.
balled on a lot of one.
Yeah, say that. Yes. All right. But anyways, let's go ahead. Very quickly, the Miami Heat, they continue to roll. They beat the Charlotte Hornets tonight. Are the Heat contenders or pretenders? Let's talk about this for 2 minutes and then move on to the next topic. Scott, what do you think?
I won't say they're contenders, but I don't really want to call them pretenders either. I think they're a solid team that I would want to see in the first or second round. But they're not going to, like, seriously contend for the Eastern Conference crown.
Why?
They have a lot of young players, man. We got to see consistency. I mean, none of Hero have had a great month, but I want to see them for a full season before I can say they can make a legit run at it.
Okay. Pavy, what are your thoughts?
I think they can. I think they got a really good shot, man. Like, I mean, we got to remember, they doing all this without their starting point guard.
Who's this?
Winslow been hurt. He been hurt. Like,
Oh.
Bam Adebayo is getting better game after game. Myers is shooting some crazy percentage from the field. You never know. They might make. Yeah, none. He's playing
Chicago
good.
guy.
Hero is playing good. They still have enough pieces where they could possibly make a trade for somebody. Jimmy is probably playing his best all-around basketball I've seen him play. I feel like he doesn't have a scoring burden on him. He has other guys who can score. Some games he scores. Some games he just plays defense. I think he's playing the best defense he's played probably since he was in Chicago. And also they coached by Eric Spoelstra. I think if you look at the coaches in the Eastern Conference, they might have one of the best coaches. No, not might. They do. They might have the best coach.
Yeah. Spo is probably the most underrated coach of the last decade, man.
I say that all the time.
So me, I like this team, man. Like literally, I think that they can do something. Oh, by the way, everybody's saying it's Wiseman. Sorry for saying Winston. It's Wiseman. James Wiseman is the big I'm talking about.
Okay.
You were thinking about Jameis Winston.
James
Yeah,
Winston.
think about them crab
Yeah,
legs.
but I knew what I was talking about though. But anyway, the Heat, I think I would put them. I could see them making a conference finals run. I don't think a finals run is possible, but I can see them making a conference finals run, and when they get there, making a tough 5-game series for somebody.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Me personally, I think that the Heat can be good. I just think it depends on kind of where their seating is, because they're gonna lose to somebody in the second round. But I just think it depends on who they lose to the second. Lose to in the second round, unless they happen to get a lucky draw and maybe Brooklyn randomly beats a team like the 76ers, and then I think they could probably beat Brooklyn. But I do think that they can at least make the second round this year, which for them is on the up and up, especially because I thought that they probably wouldn't make the playoffs before the season. I was dead wrong. I apologize. It is what it is. Moving on, the Raptors beat the 76ers. Joel Embiid tonight was held scoreless in 32 minutes. Drake, decided to mock him, obviously, Twitter had fun with that. What did you guys think about Joel Embiid? What do you guys think about the 76ers team as a whole? And not looking as good as we all thought that they were going to look. They look kind of terrible, to be quite honest. How do you guys feel about it?
The Sixers are frauds and they can't shoot. That's why I'm at with them. They should have. I don't know. I think Jimmy was going to leave regardless. So I don't really think that decision was up to them. Mm-hmm. But I think them losing J.J. Redick was probably the biggest loss of the offseason. They need more shooting. I don't care if Ben Simmons hit 2 threes. Until he gets some actual offensive moves, he is not a factor at the end of games. And Joel Embiid had a terrible game today, but I'm not going to bring all that on just for them. I mean, it's funny because he talks a lot of shit, so it's good to go in on him. But he's really the only threat on this team. You know what I'm saying? If they got some shooting around them, I'll feel better. But I just don't like this team, and I think they're going home in the second round.
I'm not upset at that. Go ahead, Pavy.
I didn't see the game, and there's more to do on the court to score. I remember when Lowry had the 0-point game.
I hate when you say that, dog.
No, listen. When Lowry had the 0-point game, I remember, like I said, that he didn't play bad. So I didn't see the game, so I'm not gonna ridicule the man too much. But for Joel Embiid to be 7 foot, you can't get a putback.
Exactly.
Bro, you can't he had 13 defensive rebounds, no offensive boards. You can't get a putback. You can't get a putback. Nothing. You can't make a free throw. But with the Sixers, even with Ben Simmons, to me, his lack of, I don't care about him not shooting threes. The thing I care about is he can't make free throws. I watched the Sixers game, right? I forgot who they were playing. But there's so many times where it's like you can see he's not as aggressive as he should be because he don't want to touch that line. Like he'll get on a fast break, big as hell, running out of the court, want to pass it off. What the hell are you doing? You 6'9", you jump out the gym. If you run to the paint, who can stop you? They're going to foul you, bro. They have to stop the ball. But the fact he's still shooting 40 to 50% from the free throw line, he don't want to go out there and get fouled. Tobias Harris, shout out to Tobias, he was a Clipper. He always answers all my questions. He ain't $170 million. They gave him that money because they wanted him to be like their closer. I don't know if he's that guy for you when it's super winning time. I don't know about that. They let Reddit go, but they had a guy, Foosmans, who I like.
Yeah, his points are down 2 points per game this year, Tobias Harris. He's also taking one less shot, but he is shooting better from the field. But he's shooting 10% less from the 3-point line this year than he did last year. And that's what you need from him.
Due to Reddit, like you said, no Reddit, so the space on the court.
And a half less rebound a game.
And you also put out Horford out there. So what is Horford shooting for 3 this year?
Let's see. Al Horford this year is shooting. He's shooting 33.8% from the 3-point line and 46.8% from the field goal range. Last year he shot 53% from the field goal range and 36% from the 3-point line. I'm sorry, he shot 53.5% from the field goal range. So I think it'll be toughy. It'll be real iffy to see what it is. But as far as the Raptors, are the Raptors the best team in the East to you guys? What do you think about them?
Real quick,
go ahead.
Can I just have one other thing?
Go ahead.
Right now, they are 8th in points allowed, and they are 9th in defensive rating. I said that the Sixers should be one of the best, if not the best, defensive team in the league. I think that needs to improve.
Yeah.
They need to get to that top 5 range.
I agree. And shout out to Mike Jones who donated. He said, what are our thoughts on Ben Simmons trying to turn into Steph Curry? What are your thoughts on Ben Simmons really quickly? Scott, how do you feel about Ben Simmons? Scott, let's hear a rant. What are your real thoughts about Ben Simmons? How do you feel about him?
He's not that good, man. I think Luka is what people thought Ben Simmons was going to be. Like, I think that's what people thought he was going to be. What does he do that's so good? What is his thing that, Ben Simmons does this better than almost anybody?
I mean, he's a really, really good defender. He's a good passer. He's a good rebounder.
Really, really good defender. That's what we want to say.
Really good. He is.
No, doesn't do anything like at a high level. He's just there, bro. He's literally just there. If I'm the Sixers, I trade the man.
You agree
Really?
with Giannis? You think that he ain't a good defender?
Huh?
I ain't saying he wasn't a good defender.
Oh,
He
me?
was really,
Oh,
really
no,
good
no, no,
defender.
no, no. I was just showing the fans super chat. That's why I was dancing like that.
Oh,
No, of course I think Ben Simmons. No, Ben Simmons is a top 5 perimeter defender in the NBA. I'm not gonna disrespect Ben Simmons, but he has to get better. But I think the problem is that they got 4 big men who all play occupy the same. They look like the Los Angeles Sparks from last year, and that's not a compliment.
I think that I don't know if Embiid and Simmons can play together. I also don't know if Ben Simmons needs to be point guard. I also don't know about that.
Stop that.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do with him then?
If he's not a point guard, what's his point of being on the court?
No. Listen, that's in Philly, but I think that would be best. Again, I think when Ben Simmons looked best was in his rookie year. Remember when Embiid got hurt and they went on that 13, 18 game win streak?
Yeah.
Where Ben Simmons was damn near averaging a triple-double. Why? Because he was basically out there playing point center. I think that's how you best utilize Ben Simmons. But if you got Embiid out there, then you putting Embiid on the perimeter and you got like that combination just don't work. Then that's when him not shooting becomes a super huge issue. And he can't hit free throws, so it's a super huge issue. I just think that Ben Simmons is not being utilized to the best of his abilities in Philly. I think that somewhere else, at worst, he would be his version of Jokic. At worst, somewhere else.
I think that's a little bit disrespectful to that guy because Jokic is nowhere near the athlete that Ben Simmons is. But it is what it is. Moving on. Are the Raptors the best team in the East? What do you guys think, really quickly?
They're not the best team in the East. I think Boston's the best team in the East, but they're definitely way better than I expected them to be. I did not expect Pascal Siakam to be hooping as much as he is. I was upset at that contract at the beginning of the year. I am stupid. I was wrong about that. That looks like it's probably going to be a bargain.
I am stupid.
He's hooping. They're going to be a tough out. Like, I would not be shocked if I saw them in the conference finals. Because I feel like they're a good team, and they're doing all this without Kyle Lowry and Siakam. Not Siakam, but Serge Ibaka.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good team. Nick Nurse is a great coach. They play defense. They play hard. And, yeah, man, they're looking good. They're looking real, real good.
Did you guys see that?
I was on record.
Did you guys see that Charlemagne clip? What did y'all think about that?
Oh, Charlemagne was
Wild. He's wild.
Wild.
He was wild.
And then he stayed on the topic, too. It's not like something he dropped right away. He stayed on it for a minute. Like, Serge tried to let it go. He said, no, I'm serious, though. But is that you in the pants? I'm like, dude, relax.
But, I was on record earlier saying I think Toronto can win the East. As in, like, have the best record in the East.
Yeah.
I said that before the season, but I'm shocked because I didn't think that they would do it how they're doing it. Like, you got Serge missing and you got Kyle Lowry missing. And it seems like, Fred VanVleet seems like he's a legit closer for them. I didn't expect Siakam to take this lead. I thought Siakam might go to 21. I didn't think he'd go up to, like, Siakam right now, arguably the second best power forward in the league. Arguably. Between him and AD.
No, he's arguably the best power forward in the league.
Huh?
He's arguably the best power forward.
No.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Giannis plays power forward. I always never know where to classify Giannis. Small forward, power forward. I forgot about Giannis.
He's powerful.
I forgot about Giannis.
But arguably he's been the second best power forward in the league this season. So I expected this, but I didn't expect it the way that it's happened. And I think that honestly, bro, I think they could honestly go back to the finals. Not even joking. I think that if they can get their guys and everybody stays healthy, I think they can honestly go back to the finals. And I think that experience that they garnered last year, being in that, look, you still had to beat the Warriors. I don't care if they was hurt, they were still the defending champions. You still had to go out there and beat them.
That's a discussion we're not going to get into.
No.
Low key. Behind Giannis and ironically Will Barton, Pascal Siakam has the third highest plus minus average this year, and then behind him is LeBron, and then Jimmy, and then Millsap. So he's turned into a viable star for this team. They do have a team.
But I'm just saying, even when Clay went down, that was a 4-point game. So you can lose that game. You still have to be there on the road and close that out. And I think that the experience that, guys like Fred VanVleet hitting big shots, Siakam hitting big shots, Lowry doing what he was doing. I think that experience from those young guys, I think that carried over into this year. And their scouting department is incredible. finding guys like Terrence Davis, finding the Van Vliet, finding the Siakam. It's not like they have lottery picks every year. Like they getting these guys late in the draft, in the second round, undrafted. Boucher, I think he was a late first round pick. Like so, I think that
he was on the Warriors though. He was on the Warriors though.
Who?
Boucher. I think he was in their system last year, in the Warriors system last year.
Whatever. No, he wasn't. Not last year. No, he wasn't. I don't think he was last year. I think he was with the Raptors. I think we asked him about that.
Huh?
Because I think we asked him about that.
No, somebody asked him. Chris Boucher. Yes, he was on the Warriors from 2017 to 2018. He was a two-way player, and then he went to Toronto last year. Okay, yeah, he did go to Toronto last year. But he was on the Warriors 2017, 2018. Yeah.
But even still, like the fact that they keep finding these guys, I think that you got to put a credit to their scouting department and credit their organization. And like I said, I think that I wouldn't pick them to go, but if they ended up back in the finals, I really wouldn't be shocked. But I wouldn't pick them to go.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead. Let's get ready to hop into the second to last topic. The Lakers beat the Spurs. LeBron had another monster night tonight. LeBron also had an incredible chase down block tonight on DeJounte Murray. Even I hopped up out of my seat. It was quite honestly, it made me kind of happy because I felt like I was watching old school Bron. Bron put up 52. I'm sorry. He shot 54.2% from the field goal range, 57% from the 3-point line. Yes, from the 3-point range. He was 4-7. Again, another terrible free throw shooting tonight, 3 of 8. But they did get the win versus the Spurs. The Spurs are looking like they need to tank. You want to talk to me about the Blazers need to tank? The Spurs need to tank. They need to trade LaMarcus Aldridge. They need to trade DeMar DeRozan. They need to trade Rudy Gay, and they need to just restart and rebuild with the young guys that they have. I think Derek White, Brent Forbes, Jakob Poeltl, DeJounte Murray, Patty Mills, DeMari Carroll, and Trey Lyles are all guys that they can use as building blocks going forward. They also drafted that rookie from Europe. I think that it's time for a new era for the Spurs. I told Jimmy that the Spurs were not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're terrible. They're 1-9 in their last 10 games. And this is going to sound crazy to say, but this is the first time in a while where I'm looking at Pop, and I just don't think that he has what it takes to get a team over the hump. Go ahead, guys.
That don't really sound crazy. I mean, Pop been at it, 24 years? Yeah, I mean, it's like a certain time people know what you're going to do. A certain time the Magic kind of get lost. I don't want to say he fell off, but I mean... And also, we gotta go ahead, Scott.
I mean, I'm with you. I tear it down, man. You got some guys. You can get a lot from DeMar. You can get a lot from
a lot.
I mean, you still told me DeMar can get $20 million a year yesterday.
Huh?
You told me yesterday.
If I'm Orlando, I take DeRozan.
If you who?
If I'm Orlando, I go grab DeRozan.
For who? Who am I giving you though?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know their roster like that. But...
I mean, you can take Aaron Gordon away from me.
Hell no. You out of your damn mind.
Aaron Gordon ain't been good, and I'd rather have Jonathan Isaac playing in that spot.
No, I'm not giving you no. You got to give me Jonathan Isaac for him.
No, well then we ain't got no trade.
No, hell no. DeMar's worth more than Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon averaging 13 points this year. What's wrong with you?
Tweaking. I'm just saying, Aaron Gordon and some picks.
Tweaking.
I'm not giving you DeRozan.
I'm not giving you Jonathan Isaac for nobody.
All right. Well then you're not giving me Jonathan Isaac. Then this trade ain't happening. It's not happening. If I'm them, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, this is gonna sound like a crazy proposition, but if DeMar and LaMarcus both wound up in San Antonio, yes, I think you would.
San Antonio.
Yeah, you trade away Whiteside and you trade away CJ. To the Spurs. I'm sorry, in Portland. In Portland. I think CJ, and I think you trade away CJ and Hassan and send them to the Spurs, and you send DeMar and you send LaMarcus to Portland. LaMarcus can finish his years out in Portland. DeMar will be a decent player for Dame to play. He got a different kind of game. He can operate different kind of space on the floor. That's not a bad trade to me.
Yeah, I don't think that trade either.
That'd actually be very nasty. You got Melo, LaMarcus, Rodney Hood, DeMar. Actually, probably you would do LaMarcus, Melo, DeMar, Anthony Simons, Dame.
Hold on, let's actually drum up the trade machine really quickly.
And you may get that contract off your books too.
So this trade, you would send CJ McCollum. Okay, hold on one second. these trade deadlines, they stopping me. All right, whoa. So you get C.J. McCollum, you'll get Hassan Whiteside for LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, and who else you want?
What?
I mean, you said, I'm just asking. I'm saying.
Give me Lonnie.
Lonnie Walker?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sure Papa be happy to trade him away. Let's see. This trade does not work. Oh, no, actually, wait a minute. This is my C.J. McCollum can't be traded. Hold on. Take all these damn trade things off here. All right, let's try this trade. Theoretically, this trade works. You give me LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, and Lonnie Walker. If I, for the Blazers, for C.J. McCollum and Hassan Whiteside, it shows the Spurs actually having an increase in projected wins. But I actually think this would make the Portland Trail Blazers a lot better, especially if they can get to being around 500. I don't think the Spurs will. But let's talk Lakers. What are your thoughts about LeBron, Scott? I haven't talked to you about LeBron. Is LeBron washed?
I mean, first of all, LeBron, nobody ever called him washed. Like, LeBron's doing the Tom Brady thing when Tom Brady's like, where everybody okay, yeah, I mean, Tom did, but the general public didn't say that. It's like when Tom Brady goes to like, well, everybody thinks we're trash. Like, when you get to a certain age and you've accomplished so much, you need stuff to keep you going. So I'm not mad at him making that up, Wash King, but let's just be real. Those will be funny jokes if it doesn't turn out in the way they want for him. If you learn how to steal to Wash King is going to be hilarious hashtag. But he's hooping. He's hooping well. I think I tweeted like a day or two ago. I was like, the biggest thing for LeBron is, of course, he's not Jordan. He's never going to be Jordan. But one thing in his legacy that he's going to have over a lot of people is his longevity. He's entering Tom Brady territory where he's hooping at an age, and you're like, how is he doing all this? And I think it's good offense bad long term for the simple fact that I feel like they got to get Anthony Davis more involved, or I don't know if AD is just not fully engaged. Because I feel like we need a little bit more from AD. Because LeBron has to go out here, drop 33 and 10 every night for the Lakers to win. It's going to be a problem long term.
I mean, he's only averaging 25.2. Let's be real here. He's not Luka Doncic. He's no Luka Doncic this year.
You just disrespecting.
He's no Luka Doncic this year. He's no Luka Doncic.
For sure.
Exactly. He's no Luka Doncic.
Not really. No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Come on. Yes,
no,
he is. LeBron.
Luka!
LeBron is no Luka Doncic.
Hold on, wait. LeBron arguably right now is on the all-defensive second team. Also, check out how many shots LeBron taking and check out how many shots Luka taking. Also, check out how many threes.
LeBron is taking 19.8 shots per game right now.
How many? Okay, and how many shots is Luka taking? And how many of them are threes?
Luke, why are you always asking me about threes? Do you care about how many threes Harden takes when he scores? No, you don't. Yes, and you a goddamn James Harden fanboy. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. And Luka's taking 20.3 shots right now, which is 0.5 more than LeBron, but he's giving you 5 more points a game.
How many threes he taking?
What?
How many threes he taking?
He's taking 9.4 threes a game. This year, LeBron is taking 4. So what? Tell LeBron to learn how to make some threes.
And Luka is not playing the level of defense LeBron has been playing this year.
Luka's better than LeBron. Luka's the MVP. Get with it. Stop being a hater your whole life.
You can't be a James Harden stand and bringing up shot attempts, though.
Exactly. Bringing up 3-point attempts.
Your man took 41 shots to get 41 points.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not trying to hear about shots.
But check it out. Check it out. You know who was missing that game? Clinton Pellet didn't play. I don't think Russ played that night. Aaron Gordon was out. And Daniel House was out. Who else needs to shoot? That's the whole damn team.
You gotta make them shots, dog.
D, who else needs to shoot? Look at me. Do you need to do I said was hurt? Clint Capella didn't play. Russ didn't play.
So what? You know who did play? Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic played. Luka! He played. So you can keep on hating. It ain't never ended. It ain't going nowhere. Steph Curry died so Luka could fly. Let's get it.
Yeah, Bron's having a great season. I think that AD is probably the defensive player of the year, but I think that honestly, AD is on defense who I thought he was on offense. Even just looking at AD, I don't like offensively. Sometimes he frustrates me. I don't think
y'all was saying what I said about AD. Really, since he's with New Orleans, I feel like sometimes he puts up great numbers, but I feel like them joints just don't be having impact like that. I don't think he's as skilled offensively as I thought he was.
LeBron would not look this good if Anthony Davis was not playing as well this year. Y'all disrespectful to the man.
Defensive, no look. I know why LeBron looks so great is the defense.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis's defense.
And again, you don't play defense by yourself. Again, LeBron has never had this level of backline rim protection ever.
Yeah,
So it allows him to. So one, like even when he's getting breakaway steals, like it allows him to gamble more. If I got Dwight, JaVale, and AD behind me, I'm gonna go at everything. So I mean, yeah, like they all help each other out. But I'm just talking about offensively. Like offensively, I thought AD was much better than what he actually is, or has at least appeared to be offensively so far at least.
Okay, Scott, what do you think about this Lakers team? Are they a contender? Do you think that LeBron has what it takes to be able to transform them into the best team in the NBA for the long term? Currently, they've had the 15th weakest schedule this season. So obviously, when you're looking at that, it's not necessarily that they've been playing the toughest competition versus a team like the Clippers who have had the second toughest schedule.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the Lakers going forward?
Like I said at the beginning of the season, I said the champion's gonna come out of LA. Like I said I think I said on Morning Brew, the champion's gonna come out of LA. It just depends on what locker room it is. Now I'm going to stick with my Clippers pick. One of the Clippers have beat them already, and that was without Paul George. That was with Kawhi's first game with the team, and the Clippers are starting to look scary. They're starting to get a little momentum right now, getting a little rhythm. The Lakers are doing good, but I feel like the weak schedule is good and bad. It's good because you got to stack up these wins, as much as possible. But I don't really think we know what this team is till we start seeing them against the Clippers again, or against Houston, or against Utah on the road. Just tougher teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to judge them when you're playing the Grizzlies and the Spurs and winning games like that. And I still just not a big fan of this roster. I feel like there's still like a lot of miscellaneous guys, and I feel like a lot of the bench players are playing higher than what they're gonna play all season. Like I feel like we watched a lot of games, but one thing we forget, it's only been 1 month. I still think some of these guys are gonna come down back to their regular guys, and when you're gonna have to go and beat a team like the Clippers, they're just too deep. And just even the 2 or 3 games the Clippers have played since PG and Kawhi been together, they just come on the fourth quarter. They just go on runs. It's just like the last 2 games against Houston and Boston, they're supposed to lose both of them games. They just start locking up and just start scoring. And I think they have 3 legit closers, and Lou Will, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. It's very, very hard to beat that. LeBron is a closer for sure. I don't really have much faith in Anthony Davis in those situations. I feel like Drew Holiday carried a lot of that load when he was in New Orleans. So they're definitely good, but when it comes to their contender, I just don't think that they can beat the Clippers. And then even Pav, you said, and I didn't agree at first, but the more I watch this team, the more I kind of agree. It's going to be tough for them to beat the Rockets, especially if Clint Capella keeps playing the level he's been playing.
Yeah, I'm not upset at that. But all right.
Somebody said like you're trying to solve a crime in the background.
Hey man, I'm in my mama's office, man. They do look like I'm trying to sign my mother. I'm trying to see you shot Ghost.
Ghost dead on power?
I don't know. I know he shot.
No, that's interesting.
All right. So, anyways, let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Let me move on to my final thought of the night. So, shout out to all the Warriors lost. Shout out. So, I mean, it's
look.
They completed the sneak tank, and Chris Paul had to go ahead bucket. Redemption.
We're in full tank mode.
Redemption.
Redemption. If this is the redemption Warriors haters take, you can have it. But anyways, my final thought of the night. I said it on the podcast. Scott had a problem with it, so I want to spend 3 minutes talking about this. But before we get into it, I just want to say, looking at the numbers.
Oh fuck.
Looking at the numbers. I'm just saying, looking at the numbers.
My
Luka Doncic, Michael Jordan comparison is not that bad. Obviously, Mike in his second year broke his foot, so he only played 7 games. But then he came back the year after, the year after, and averaged 37, 5, and 5. Guess what? Luka gonna score 60 on LeBron to beat the Lakers. What? Now what? What are you gonna do when that happens to you? What are you gonna do when Luka comes to Staples Center and shut it down? Huh?
That too. Quite possibly a top 5 team of all time.
Luka.
They lost 1 home game all season.
So what? Luka gonna do it. By the way, I mean it. If the Mavericks play the Lakers, they're gonna beat them in the first round.
No, relax.
Remember I said it. But anyways.
5-game series.
But anyways, when you look at what Luka is doing so far this season compared to what Michael Jordan did that season, in which he averaged 37, 5 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. He did average 2.9 steals and 1.5 blocks, but obviously, you've heard me say a million times, I don't think any guard ever will be able to catch Michael Jordan on both ends of the ball as a defender as well as a scorer, period, point blank in the story. But in terms of hitting that level, we're looking at what Luka did. Mike also took 27.8 shots per game that year. That's a lot of goddamn shots. I don't want to hear that. That's not the point. The point that I'm making is this year so far, Luka Doncic is shooting better from the field than Michael Jordan from the field goal range, from the 3-point line. Mike has him from the free throw line. Luka is out rebounding Michael Jordan by 5 rebounds. He's giving you 5.2 more assists per game. He is giving you 1.5 steals less, but he is giving you 1.4 steals. And he's giving you a little bit more turnovers, but he's fouling less than Michael Jordan. And he's also playing 7 less minutes a game. Luka world, we in this piece. And even when you look at the per 36 are super even, and Mike only outscores Luka by 0.9. I'm telling you, Luka world, we are here.
Why do you
Get
not
ready.
take into account different eras, bro?
I don't want to hear it.
Like, why do you not take into account?
Mike is taking 7 more shots per. Mike is taking 7 more shots per 36.
This man don't want to hear about the fact that the man Luka taking 9 threes. Mike is probably taking no threes.
Mike taking 8 more shots a game. What do the threes matter?
Oh, G, damn, man. Stop this, bro.
He's still outscoring the man, though. I'm giving Mike props.
I see what's wrong, brother.
What you mean?
Alright, man. In an era where you can literally tackle people out the damn head.
I don't want to hear that. Now you want to talk about the physicality, like Luka Doncic at 6'7". He's 6'7", 230. He couldn't handle the physicality of that era.
G, if you can hand check people, no.
I'm not lying. I'm not gonna hold it.
Dennis goddamn Johnson played in that era. He wasn't no physical specimen. Get your ass out of here. Dennis Johnson. You heard what I said.
Dennis Johnson was hard.
He wasn't no goddamn physical specimen. Get your ass out of here.
G, Dennis Johnson strapped Luka.
He would not strap Luka. Get out of here. Luka strapping that man all night long. Call him feds. Call him feds because he's strapping that man all night long.
Gee, Robert Perez is going to tackle that man coming down to the lane. That's going to be the last time.
He ain't got to come down to the lane because we pull up from 30. Stop being a hater your whole life. Stop being a hater your whole life.
I'm not hating. Just stop doing this, bro. Stop trying to play. That's why it's so hard to compare eras. If Michael Jordan playing right now, he averaged 50. With probably a triple-double.
He would. Would Michael Jordan be the same defender if he played now?
I mean, he'd still be good. He still averages steals and the blocks. He might get tilted a couple little more because you can't touch nobody. But he still gets steals. Okay.
I'm not upset at that. Scott, any final words before we get out of here?
Not really, man.
Do you think
fire John Paxson and Garth Harmon?
On a scale of 1 to wildin', how wildin' am I with my Luka take? Look at the numbers. The numbers show that it's not that far.
15 out of 10.
The numbers show that it's not that far away, bro.
But bro, go back and look at how many possessions.
Luka's leading the league in PER right now, bro.
Go back and look at
second in points.
Are in a game.
Top 10 in assists, top 10 in rebounds. Michael Jordan never did that.
The Mavericks literally scored 147 points.
Because of him.
Really?
Because of him. Because of him. Because of him.
Literally nobody was scoring that many points back then. The possessions out there, there's so many threes in the game. You're not taking into account these things.
So how many shots a game would Mike be taking now? Instead of 27, he'd be taking 24. Ooh, big deal.
No, the threes are a huge part. That's just how the game is played, dog.
Like I said, Luka Doncic never lost. Anyways, my stat of the night is Luka Doncic is number 1 in the NBA at PER. Alright,
man.
Alright, that's my stat. Luka Doncic is number 1 in the NBA in PR. I'm sorry, in PER. That's my stat of the night.
I agree.
Anyways, let's get ready to get out of here. Scott, go ahead, get your plug in, talk to the people, let them know where they can find you at on the internet. We appreciate you for coming through as always on the 2-for-1 show.
I am back on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Following
Problematic. Flash the
Barbshare
alert.
Scott. I'm rebranding. I'm like when Ghost get into politics. Call me Scott St. Patrick.
Gee,
Um,
I watched the whole last year. I'm like, why is this man in politics, bro?
it's hilarious. It's so bad that it's entertaining now.
Yeah.
It's that bad. But yeah, follow me there. Follow 7 the Hallis. Listen to our new pod. We talk about the Bears win over Giants. It's only like 40 minutes, and we spend like 25 of it talking about everything that has nothing to do with the Bears, and it's quite hilarious. So
How
check
many
that
games
out.
did we finish the season with?
What record?
Yes.
8-8 probably.
Okay.
8-8. Yeah, and then yeah, man. Summer sessions. Check it out. There's no episode this week because I'm in Winterfell and Damien wants to be a responsible adult and
Okay.
not go live on Skype. So check out the latest one. And yeah, man, that's about it.
Pavy, go ahead, get your plug in, talk to the people, let them know where they can find you at, man.
At Pavy World on Twitter, that's Pavy World, all one word. Fill-in video coming soon. Pavers Volume 2 out right now. Yeah.
All right, guys, I appreciate you for calling to the 2-for-1 show. Don't hang up just yet. But I do appreciate you guys for calling to the 2-for-1 show. Fans, shout out to all of you all out there. Thank you for tuning in to the 2-for-1 show. What I have next coming up after this show is I like to play a block of all of our Clippers content, so that way if you like the Los Angeles Clippers, or if you don't like them and you just want to get to learn about what I think is the best team in the NBA, thinks, or how they feel game to game or in certain scenarios. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to run that block. That's a 2-hour block of straight Clippers content, Clippers interviews. You'll hear myself as well as you'll hear Pavy. Once again, shout out to all of the fans that are currently watching. If you are watching this, please make sure you drop a like down below. Drop a like down below. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Also, make sure right now you send this video to one of your friends who doesn't like Luka Doncic. You send this video to one of your friends who loves LeBron James. You send this to one of your friends who loves Ja Morant, who loves the Celtics, who loves any other team that we talked about tonight on the 2-for-1 show. Special shout out to my guests, Scott and Pavy, for coming through. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you all again. This has been the 2-for-1 show. It is your boy TPJ, and I will get up with you all next time. Until then, peace out and get ready to check out this amazing Clippers content coming your way.
Just the ball movement was terrific overall. We came out the beginning of the third for about 6 minutes and didn't play, but other than that, loved how we played.
5 games in 7 nights, and you guys won every single one. What have you learned in this homestand?
I don't know. I mean, we're just still growing. I guess we can win games. We won a couple of these on this trip where we didn't play well, or play great, and we were able to claw them out. When we play at our pace, I think offensively we're really good, and we have the ability to get stops in a row. So I would say that.
Doc, can you kind of talk about the resiliency you guys showed in the third? They got within 6.
Yeah, they cut it to 6, and we just, kind of got it right back up. So, every NBA team is going to make a run at some point, and they did. We helped. I thought our guys knew that, though, and then they got back to playing.
In the 3 games that you guys have played with both Kawhi and PG, your 3-point attempt rate has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I know you've said before you don't really care what shots you guys are taking as long as they go in, but what kind of does that do for your offense when you guys are taking so many threes?
Well, it's because everyone's trapping. So, and we're moving the ball. We're getting great threes. So, if you can get a great 3, we want to take it. You got Lou and Paul and Kawhi taking them. You have Pat and Jamaica and Rodney and Jerome they're wide open. They better take them, would be my what I would say to them.
Over here, Doc. Your second unit, when you put them in, they built a 16-point lead. Talk about the confidence you have in that second unit.
It's nice to have that. The first unit came out in the beginning of the third, and you just see the energy was low or whatever. It's nice that you got Lou and Tress. They're going to come in, and all the other guys that are with them, and they're going to get the energy back up, and they did that.
Doc, you guys dominated most of the game this game, and you guys also played with a lot of different lineups. What did you see from those lineups?
It was nice that we were able to use some different ones. We're so versatile. Every night you can put a lineup that you can create matchup problems, and that's nice to have.
Doc, when Montrez has it going like this tonight, how tough is it for opponents to deal with him, and how many plays do you actually call from outside of pick and rolls with Lou?
We have the one post play, and then we have the little ISO at the top in transition. Um, you know, we he gets the rebound and everybody runs wide. Most teams think when it big is bringing it down, that he's bringing it down to run a play. It's ISO for Trez, and he's great at it. So two. The answer is two plays.
We talk about Lou all the time.
Yeah.
What does it say about Trez? He can be such a force.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, a good question. But really, I think people think that Trez is good only because of Lou. And I think they're starting to see Trez is good, period. There's nothing else after that. He's just a good basketball player. He can score on the post. He can score on ISOs. He can do it in a lot of different ways. And it's been great to watch. Like each year, it seems like he adds more and more to his game. He went left like 5 times today. The scout reporters don't let him go right. So he says, okay, I'll go left. It just tells you how much he works on his game.
After starting with a home-heavy schedule,
Yeah.
now you've got, I think, 9 of the next 11 on the road, something
Yeah.
like that. What does that mean in terms of taking the success here and taking it on the road? I mean,
We'll
how do you
find
approach
out.
it?
We'll really find out. We'll find out a lot more about our team. We have some tough games out on the road. It's nice to go out on the road and have all your guys, though. Like, I looked at the schedule, and it's funny, we've had the home games, but we've had one of the toughest schedules in the NBA so far. Our home games have been hard teams. But we haven't had our health, really, through it, and we came out of it okay. Now we're going on the road, but now we have our guys back. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Doc, over here. It seems like you've had a number of different rosters the past season and a half, but is it nice that the one constant throughout has been what Lou and Trez have been able to get?
Yeah, it definitely has been. You know what you're getting most nights from them. You really do. You know how they're going to play, and everyone knows how to play with them because it's so simple what they're doing, and that helps for sure.
Doc, obviously you've been focused on this team, but Dallas is on this road trip. Have you monitored just what Luka is doing and how out of his mind he's been playing?
I monitored today. We're playing them next. They're playing the Rockets, so I got to watch, Austin and yeah, that was amazing. I was on board first last year with him. I just think he's a special basketball player. He is, and he's hard to stop. And this year he's come back with more. Like he's offensively, man, he's tough.
So in that vein, having your defenders, having PG, having Kawhi, having Pat, does that give you the opportunity to send multiple defenders at him to see how you guys can slow him down some?
We'll find that out. Yeah, I mean, it's I haven't looked at a game plan yet. I just know no one is stopping him so far, and if you don't, they're going to win. So that's going to be our challenge. I don't know if you're going to stop them, but make them inefficient somehow. I don't know. But we'll look at it. We got a 3-hour flight together, and we'll be able to watch a lot of film.
Is there any update on Landry's status, and is there a chance he could return on this 3-game trip?
I don't think so. But I don't know. I wouldn't know that answer. So.
They say that revenge is the dish best served cold. After avenging both of your early losses, do you reach for perhaps a chilled white wine or a rosé or...
I was coming up with something clever, but I can't come up with it. So, usually my choice is red, French. So yeah, every once in a while you do. You got to smell the roses sometimes, right?
Doc, I know it's only 17 games in. What kind of identity is your team emerging to be?
Oh, I think everyone sees that. I think it's last year with Kawhi and Paul. Really, I do. I think it's a very tough, hard-nosed team. And then you add Kawhi and Paul. But the identity really hasn't changed much. So that's, I didn't know how that was going to go. And that absolutely has come through.
Doc, with that said, how cool is to have guys who's not really concerned about, taking a lot of shots and scoring points and things of that nature? How cool is to have guys like?
Well, they have to be, number one, whether it's cool for them or not. But the fact that it is really important. We have a lot of role players. And, like our bench is very lively. Like, Pat Patterson was starting, not playing a lot right now. He's the guy up on the bench and coaching guys up. So that goes a long way when things do get tough, because it's a long season. There's going to be some bumps here. And when you have guys like that, that helps.
A couple weeks ago, Kawhi missed 3 straight games with a left knee contusion. How's he been doing since then? And
He's great. I don't ask. I swear I really don't. Someone may tell you, but I think he's doing fine. Last question, guys. This is we're ready to go home.
Did Montrez? Did you anticipate, or did you think he can become kind of a big scorer for you, or he just worked really hard at his game?
He just worked hard. I mean, I don't think anyone saw it. Honestly, I didn't know he had a career high. I didn't know he had 34 points until you guys said it when I walked in. I never looked at his points. He just gets them through the flow of the game. Sometimes you don't notice it, But, yeah, he's worked his way to where he's at. It's just amazing watching him work.
I just play as hard as I can, live with whatever comes with it. You score, you play with confidence. So see the shot go down, the basket starts getting bigger and bigger. And the guys that we have on this team, you can't really help. So I just have to.
Talk about the chemistry that you mentioned tonight. You had a chance to combine. How do you continue to build on this team?
I just think Trez had a major night. Once he's going downhill, once he's playing really aggressive and attacking the rim, he's virtually unstoppable with guys at his size and the foot speed that he has. So I thought he had a lot to do with that tonight. He had a monster night.
You guys go perfect on this homestand. You head on the road for a lot of the month of December. What's going to be important to you guys to feel from the pressure that you have?
I thought this homestand was great for us to build off of. I think we've learned that we have to play with energy, we have to play with pace, and play and make sure the ball is getting shared, and I think we did that on this trip. So have an opportunity to go out on the road, hang out a little bit, have some dinners, and build some camaraderie should be good.
So everybody talks about Trez on pick and rolls with you, but I think teams underestimate what he can do or not. Just ISO stuff like that.
I hope they do. So that'll be a problem that they have. Like I said, with his foot speed, he catches that ball at the top of the key. He has moves that he can go to, and he's a great finisher at the rim. So they're watching film and underestimating him. That's their problem.
Lou, what's been? You guys went 11-1 at home so far, franchise record. What's been the key to that success at home?
Just playing hard, playing together, and just continuing to build game in and game out. The fans have been great. We've had some battles here at home early in the season. They're very supportive and we played pretty well.
You shouted out.
Just energy and toughness. Tonight was a great night for him. He made some shots when teams not guarding as much as they should be. He was able to slash, able to make big three in the corner, and just playing well, playing positive.
Last question.
You had the shout out to Kawhi in the beginning, saying, hey. Was that planned? Did you have that planned?
No, I just walked up and did it, just having some fun. That's it.
Is that thing you guys joke with in the locker room? Because that was kind of made its way on social media.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Lou.
man. So I feel like I got step quicker on a couple guys. So when I show that step to be like right there, playing right there, and I just tap back the other way, and it was all downhill from there.
On this homestand, you got all your guys back. You know what team you have now. Everybody's healthy. What do you think you found out about this team during this homestand?
Got a great group of guys, man. It's a lot of different lineups we can throw down the floor. Versatile all across the board, offensively and defensively. We had some nail biters in 2 big games that, maybe games of the year so far right now, man. But it's just great that, that we can still be able to run and collect wins while we're still figuring it out. Our guys still are coming back into that full swing of basketball mode after they had to sit out, PG with the shoulder and Kawhi as he made his knee.
Trez, Pat Beverly had a big night. Lou Williams had a big night. Tonight you had a big night. Can you talk about the depth of this team?
We're a deep team, man. As you can see, it's any given night, anybody can have a big night, or any given night, 3 or 4 guys can go out for a big night, man. And it's just, a great thing to have. It's definitely going to help us coming down into the long stretch. I don't really think it's no one particular guy you can be able to take away. And even if you do, there's still multiple guys that you're going to still have to worry about on the floor each night.
Now it's 9 of 11 on the road. Is that going to be a big adjustment for you guys, do you think?
I think it is. I think we're going with the same mindset that we had as we were playing home games. We're taking on the road with us, and we're just going to go in each game and take it one game at a time. We're going with the mindset of what we want to take that team out of, that they do well, continue to do what we're doing, playing at our pace, and just looking to build and keep going on wins.
Trey, one of the franchise best 11 wins at home. What's gone into that success at home so much? Like the crowd is it? What is it?
It's all of it, really, man. Just being able to play our style of basketball, being able to have your fans cheer you on. We had 2 tough, close games against Boston and Houston, and just to be able to do it at home and have your crowd cheering for you and being behind you, man, it's always a great feeling. I think everybody in the league loves playing at home because you're playing in front of the fans and people that root for you and cheer for you instead of, guys that just root for you.
You have big games. You've been pretty well known for a couple of years now. Is it hard to keep a chip on your shoulder?
Nah, brother. Nah.
Why not?
I'm not satisfied with it. I'm simply still working on my game. I'm still developing my game on all aspects. I'm still looking to get better at my game. And, I'm never satisfied with just where I'm at. This game is expanding. These roles of every guy is expanding. And I'm just not, comfortable with being one of those people who's just okay with just selling who they are. It's never happened.
All right, thank you, guys.
Paul, when Montrezl Harrell has such a big night like he did tonight, how easy does it make it for you and Kawhi?
Make it real easy. Make it real easy. That's another option, another weapon, another reliable scorer for us.
Paul, you guys have gotten off to a franchise best 11-1 at home. What's been the key to that success at home, and how do you carry out to the road where you guys are, I think, 1-4?
We got great fans that root us on. They really supply the energy, and I think every home team takes pride in defending their home court. So that's really what plays in that factor. And then, frankly, on the road we haven't been healthy. We haven't been 100% full roster yet. And so this is the real test right here, this road trip.
Paul, what's impressed you about Luka and what challenges will he present for you guys on, was it Tuesday night you played down there?
I think what's impressive is his skill set at his age. He's a scorer, he's a playmaker, he's a ball handler. I think he's close to averaging a triple-double. So he's doing it in all aspects of the game. And doing it at his age is remarkable. I think just, he's constantly a threat all night. He'll be a threat. And he's the head of the snake. We got to take it to him. We got to be aggressive on the defensive end. And with our offensive players, we got to attack them on the other end.
Paul, over here. You've played a couple games now. How's your conditioning? You think you are pretty much where you want to be?
Yeah, tonight was the best I felt. since I've been back. I felt really good. I was able to get low. I was able to defend. There were still moments where I was a little tired, but tonight was the best by far. I felt from a conditioning and just endurance in my legs with stamina. So it's getting there. It's getting there. A lot of great shots, great looks. I'm turning the corner.
Paul, 9 of your next 11 are on the road. What are you looking forward to on that kind of road stretch, and what do you learn about a team when you guys are kind of isolated and going to dinner, doing whatever you guys do on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really the fun part of the season when you have stretches to be together. We've been at home, and you love being at home, but everyone's kind of with their families when we're playing at home. We're on the road, we're together, we're bonding. There's chemistry built. There's dinners to be had. So that's what's going to really start to mold and build this team. And then you just have fun, being the hated, being on the road, playing in hostile, environments. You have fun with that, and then you build off that. That's what I think builds the chemistry within the team.
Who are the people on the over here? Who are the guys on the team who organize the team dinners? Who knows the restaurants, and do people feel strongly about one person's food tastes or one?
Nah, man, we ain't no divas. Ain't no divas.
Did you guys already talk about Luka Doncic? Because you and Kawhi both used the exact same terminology to describe him. Like when Brad asked you those questions.
Really?
Yeah, you both called him the head of the snake. It was like,
no.
Are you just there yet?
Yeah. I think we just there. We just there. He sent me a text saying somebody was going to ask me about that. I think we both just understand the game. We understand. We know the dynamics of this, and we know where his game is taking it, where he's taking his game. So, Dallas, they're with their, talent-wise, I think they're really performing higher than, I think people would expect, and he's the reason for it. He's really doing everything. So, I've been watching, I've been keeping up and kind of following, what he's been doing, and he's doing it. He's in MVP conversations right now. So, it's kind of hard to not, know what's going on in Dallas.
Kawhi, right over here. You guys have gotten off to a franchise best 11-1 start at home. What's been the key to that so far, and how can you guys carry that onto the road where you guys are 1-4 so far, I think?
The key to it, I guess, just closing out those fourth quarter games, that we've been going down in the wire with, just coming in ready to play. Tonight got off to a good start early and ended up keeping the lead and just going on the road, just buying in with each other, making sure that we're there to accomplish, a goal. Go out there and win, and the successful teams win on the road.
Kawhi, now that you all have those challenging home games, how does that prepare you for this upcoming road trip?
Just trusting each other, just having that them extra games under our belt. Knowing we could dig ourselves out the hole if we get down, and that's pretty much it. Just got to keep playing and going on the road. Just keep getting experience with each other, pretty much.
Kawhi, you're over here. Your first game is against Dallas, and Luka's playing very well for them in Dallas. What does it take to try to slow him down, and what's been impressive about him that you've seen so far?
He's the head of the snake over there. He's playing great, like you said. Getting his teammates involved, making shots, just playing competitive basketball. They're winning.
What have you learned playing with Trez during this homestand? He said his career high tonight, or he tied his career high. What can you say about him?
He went out there, played aggressive tonight. He's able to pass the ball, as being a 5-man. He's getting to his spots, blocking shots on defense as well. Just so going out there competing and not backing down.
Kawhi over here. In the modern NBA, there's a lot of three-point shooting. You're able to do a lot of your damage in the mid-range. You also shoot threes, but you're also probably the best NBA player in that mid-range area. How has that developed as part of your game, and why is that so central to what you do offensively?
I just think it's hard to guard guys that shoot twos. It's playoff basketball, and you know, once you get to the playoffs, it becomes half-court game. And pretty much teams don't want any wide-open shots or threes. So just pretty much trying to get to my spot and make it.
Kawhi, when Pat Beverly, Lou Williams, and Montrezl Harrell in this homestand have a great games like that, how easy does it make it for you and Paul George?
It makes it easy. You know, either trapping the ball and making us, you know, hit one of those guys, and when they make shots, it just opens up the floor. But you know, they're going out playing defense as well. You know, we could get out in transition, get some easy shots, some wide open shots as well if we do that. So you know, winning takes part of the whole 10, 15 players. It's hard to win with one or two guys. You need the whole group.
Over here. You've played a couple games now with Paul. What's it like having him on the floor now and playing?
It's been great. You know, we're still trying to figure it out, as well as the plays and everybody else playing off of each other. And, I mean, it's been good so far. We've been winning, so it always could be worse. But he's just a, you know, all-star caliber player. You know, in the MVP votes last year, he's able to space out the floor and also gives you that extra defender on the other end.
Kawhi, obviously, once the game tips off, you're locked in. But rumor has it you're a fun guy. What did you make of a Lou's hey impersonation before the game?
I didn't even pay attention to it. I really didn't hear it. I think at that point we were walking to either the bench or listening to Doc drop a play, but I didn't know he did the impersonation.
In the locker room about that. Is that the case? Is that?
Not yet. No, I didn't hear it yet.
Kawhi over here. Have you noticed a difference in the way that teams are playing you since Paul has joined you on the floor? I remember Doc mentioned a lot that teams were trapping you kind of before he joined you on the lineup. Any thoughts on that?
Say that again.
I'm sorry. I said, have you noticed a difference in the way that teams are playing you now that Paul has joined you all on the floor defensively?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, he's a top 5 scorer, and he gets able to shoot the three, so it's hard to double at times when I'm out on the floor with him. So I mean, he helps me out, easy up the game for me as well. Probably do the same for him, but coming in, I think Boston was trapping the ball screens pretty much a little bit, both of us. But like we're just talking to him, you know, when they're making us pass to the guys that are wide open, they just got to knock down a shot, and then it's going to open it up for us.
You missed 3 games a couple weeks ago with that left knee contusion. Can you tell us or describe what happened on the play or when that happened and how you're doing now?
Really don't remember. We were trying to figure out, you know, when I did get hit. But, you know, right now I'm doing good.
Is that true?
Yeah, whatever Zeus found Rosenwood.
So quite a homestand for you guys. And for guys
Yeah, I mean, we just try to get better each game, and of course every game is different. It's another opportunity. Each game presents something different. We try to do it defensively. Some games we did it offensively. I think today was a game we kind of did it both. That's what it's about. It's about getting better, and I think that we did that throughout the game.
You guys are up to franchise best 11-1 at home. What's been the key to that?
Camaraderie. due to the schedule, we haven't practiced a lot with each other. So we get better during the games, and our teaching is during the games. And, thinking the Rockets game and the game before the Rockets, the Celtics game, games that we had to come together in the fourth and kind of build our own momentum, especially with the crowd. I think those are games that help build confidence and camaraderie, and we just wanted to carry on from that.
Pat, Doc said you're
career high. Do you know he can be a big scorer over the years? Have you seen him evolve into a guy who can score?
I mean, I was in Houston when we drafted him, and then I seen offensive explosion he had when he was there. Didn't get a lot of time. So he was a rookie when I was in my fourth or fifth year. So this is nothing new to anybody. His one-on-one game is put him up there with the best of anybody, especially big guys. And this is classic Montrez game, getting it done and rebounding really well.
This team is so versatile. I felt with Rodney Brown.
Oh man, I mean me and him, we talked last night on the phone. We talk a lot. He got that grit, and I love that about him. And he's a team first guy. Me, I just try to go out there and tell him, man, shoot the ball, do what you do, have fun while you're out there, and consistently every night. It's not a let off. He comes in, he does his job. You see him working on his game in the gym, and he deserves it all. He got a nice contract this summer, so he's not a slouch, and he's one of those guys who go out there and has to prove himself every night. He's comfortable with that.
Pat, Doc said you're such an intangible player. You never think you're going to lose. What are some things you've passed on to some of the rookies on the team?
I mean, I don't know. I just try to go, lead by example. Hell no, I don't ever think I'm going to lose until I lose. It's a minute left and we're down 12. I've seen some crazy shit happen, so I never think we're out of it. Down 31 in the playoffs, so I done seen it all. And the thing I like about this team is that it's so poised. No one points the finger. When it's time to nut up and win, we get tighter, we get closer, and that's what's going to take this year.
How much is that moment, that 31-point comeback? I mean, obviously you guys have goals for a championship. How much does it stick with you? Because no one, it's the most improbable comeback ever.
I mean, it's just like anything. You guys have a craft, I have a craft, of course. You get to a down spot at a time in your life, and you find yourself there again. You can pull yourself out from that, and whether it's the 31-point game or the 28-point game against Boston or the 25-point game against Detroit on the road last year, whatever it is, we've been there before, and we know what it takes to get out. And it's always good to have a group like that added with with the things we have added to. Always have a group like that to finish games and try to get some wins.
Your team scored 150 a few games ago, 130 something tonight. The offensive production that we're seeing. Is it a surprise, or how pleasing is it to see your team score like that?
No, it's not a surprise. It's just it's going to take time, and of course, earlier in the year, you see we doing it defensively a lot. And like I said, that Atlanta game was vicious. Today was kind of a little bit of both. A really good offensive team. We just wanted to do it on both ends. The starters came in with a great start. Second unit came in waves, and we tried to make it tough.
You guys have some.
To the Clippers fans, because actually somebody, when we talked about the Clippers before, one of them accounts retweeted us. So this is for the Clippers fans.
I think the Clippers recovered. First of all, they got Jerry West hired.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jerry West hired and took the general manager abilities away from Doc Rivers, which.
Yo, do you know what happened with that Jerry West thing?
What?
The Warriors kind of pushed him out.
They did?
Yeah, he said he didn't want to leave the Warriors. He said he wanted to stay one more season, but things are the way that they are, so he
well, whatever. You see what Jerry West did in Memphis. Jerry West had Memphis
What
consecutive.
did he really do in Memphis?
He had them good. Memphis had never. Memphis. No, wait.
Did you ever feel like they were a contender? Did you ever feel like they were a contender?
But listen. Memphis
the Clippers
had
been contenders for the past 6 years with Chris Paul.
But listen.
Fuck out of here with that shit.
But listen. We talking about a team that had pretty much no basketball culture in history before he got there. He took them and made them a very respectable team for at least 5 years straight.
Clippers have been
they went to a
relevant
conference
for the-
finals. If I'm not mistaken, they went to a conference finals. I'm just saying, Jerry West is not a bad person to have in your front office. That's what I'm saying. You win by having Jerry West in your front office.
And not having
That's
Chris
a W.
Paul on your team.
That's a
Ask
W.
the New Orleans Hornets
Also,
and ask the Los Angeles Clippers.
I think they recovered from Chris Paul nicely. Now, one thing that does worry me is they don't really have any young talent for the most part.
I think they're a better team. I think they're a better team. I think they are. I think you were never going to get anywhere with Chris Paul. It was apparent, and I have been, and literally for the past personally, before we started the podcast, for the past 2-3 years, I've been saying that the Clippers need to move on from Chris Paul. I've been saying it for a long time. I've been trying to get them to trade him away for the longest. Like, they should have been gotten rid of him. He was never going to be the guy. After year 3 of that experiment, get rid of him. Get rid of him, give Blake the keys. The problem is they didn't get rid of him early enough, so now they're going to give Blake the keys, but Blake might be a little bit too old and have a little bit too many injuries to actually be able to drive the Lamborghini like you once would have thought he was. And with Chris Paul not there, he actually probably has to develop his game a lot more. And even as good as he is right now, handling the ball, even last year when Chris Paul was hurt, he was averaging like 23, 9, and 7 assists. He could be better than that. The way we talk about Michael Porter, if Chris Paul is gone and you give early Blake Griffin the keys, he probably has to score. And then you develop DeAndre Jordan more. Go out and get another point guard. I've been saying it for years that they needed to get rid of Chris Paul.
I don't mind, Patrick.
This is a better team. You have a better team.
I will say this. One thing that we have been saying about the Clippers forever is they don't have a bench. I will say this. They have viable bench options now. They have viable bench options.
Squad now.
I don't know about squad.
They have a squad.
I don't know if I'm going as far as squad. But I like the way they recovered from Chris Paul. They recovered from Chris Paul nicely, and they have viable bench options. One thing that they have viable bench options, and they have a wing. One thing that we always said was they had no real wing player, and they had no bench. Those were the two weaknesses that we said. They have viable bench options, and they have a wing. Gallinari is a good wing.
And Chris Paul is not their point guard anymore.
And
Chris Paul is not their point guard
and
anymore.
also, they have size. 6'10", and 7 feet. Size.
Yes.
Patrick Beverly is a very tough defender.
Yes.
If Blake can be healthy, he won't. But if he can be healthy, I think if Blake would be healthy from day one, I would say this team will win about 47 games and definitely make the playoffs. But because Blake isn't going to come back until December, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and I'll only assume that they're going to win about 40 games. Because
I disagree with you. I think that the Clippers now, they have a shot to actually make the Western Conference Finals. I'm serious. I'm not joking, bro. I'm not joking. I'm serious. But let me talk to you. Let me explain to you why. I'm serious. I think they have a shot to make the Western Conference Finals.
your hate for Christopher Paul is making you delusional.
No, my hate for Chris Paul is not making me delusional. No, it's not. Sit down. You just told me why they have a better bench, right? And why they have better assets, right?
They have a better bench.
And they have better assets all around. The only thing that they are missing is literally Chris Paul. Literally Chris Paul.
A shooter like JJ Redick. They miss JJ Redick. They don't really have any shoot.
I disagree with that. You have Lou Williams as well.
Yeah, but he's not
Lou
JJ.
Williams on that Rockets team was shooting.
Yeah, but he's not JJ.
Okay, fine. So listen. Depending on how the Western Conference seedings turns out, if the Clippers wind up somehow, I honestly think that the Clippers are my sneaky team to wind up being the third seed in the Western Conference.
Hell no.
Listen to me. Listen why I say this. Because of the fact that in Denver, Gallinari was always a good dude, but the problem with that team was like they were kind of too young, but they had good assets, but then they didn't really have a star, and then Gallinari didn't really know how he fit with that. Then Jokic kind of came. Then they thought like, okay, well, Moutier is going to be the guy, but Gallinari was always a consistent scorer, right? Now on this team, you have Patrick Beverly who's out there to defend. Regardless of what you say about Patrick Beverly in terms of scoring, he can pass the ball and he can defend. That's what you're going to need against the Warriors. That's really what Chris Paul was giving you the majority of the time in terms of when he wasn't scoring. But now you have Danilo Gallinari, a guy who is actually a proven scorer. Like, he's a proven scorer.
You see what Gallinari is? You got, what, 2 people who have injury concerns now? Gallinari has a history of being hurt, and also Blake has a history of being hurt. Gallinari hasn't played over 65 games since 2012. It was 71, then he tore his ACL, then 59, 53, 63. He has been hooping the last 2 years. Since he came back from the ACL, he has been hooping, but he's 29 and he already has an injury history.
Yes, but you also have to think about it from this perspective. In Denver for the past 2 years, and really all over his entire career, he's been playing 33 to 34 games a minute. He doesn't need to play that much.
Minutes a game.
You can drop him down to around 30 minutes a game because the primary scorer on this team when he comes back is going to be Blake. So early in the season, Danilo, go crazy, get involved with the team. DeAndre Jordan is still there. You sign him to a max deal for a reason. One day, his big stupid ass got to develop a game. One day his big stupid ass got to develop a game. One day he has to.
But I think you're putting too much trust.
Might be the year. No, but listen. The reason why he didn't want to re-sign with the Clippers in the first place was because of Chris Paul was there.
Yeah, that's true.
So now Blake Griffin hated Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan hated Chris Paul. So imagine how they're going to now play that they don't have to deal with the burden of Chris Paul. Even Doc Rivers, when he was introducing Danilo Gallinari, threw a shot at Chris Paul and said, now I can run my offense the way I wanted to run it. Because now I don't have Chris Paul weighing me down because he's an anchor. Because he had to have the ball in his hands. Otherwise, he was ineffective. That's basically what you get from that. Now, you give the 2 guys that hated Chris Paul another scorer that they can play with, and Danilo's a shooter. You have Lou Williams coming off the bench. You have the guy that they just signed, Toselovic or Teletovic or however you pronounce it.
Who was apparently the best passer Kevin Durant has ever seen.
Well, no. He threw the best pass Kevin Durant has ever seen. But even speaking of that, we've been watching FIBA ball and all that stuff like that.
I haven't seen him play.
I haven't seen him play either, but even watching FIBA ball, you can see how competitive and how skilled those guys actually are. They just don't really, honestly, watching FIBA, I just don't necessarily see that same level of athleticism that the American players have. Yeah. And that's the biggest difference. But the skill is there. So even if he can pass, he's your backup point guard. Well, he's one of your backup point guards that you have. You can even have Lou Williams running the point guard. Austin Rivers, you gave him that deal, right? If you Doc Rivers,
he got better last year.
You put the chip down on Austin Rivers.
He got better last year.
Bet on Austin Rivers.
He got better last year.
And although I did call him Austin Streams,
he got better last year.
Although I did call him Austin Streams, he got hurt, and he was also dealing with Chris Paul, who it seems like people didn't really like on the team. He averaged 12 points a game. He started 29 of them. He also averaged 2.8 assists. He's really going to be playing more of a shooting guard role. I honestly can see Austin Rivers winding up averaging 16, 17 points a game
17,
this year.
no. 15, 16, yeah. 17.
I think he can give you 17. I think he can give you 17 because when Blake is gone, he's going to get those shots, especially if he's starting a shooting guard. If he's not starting, then it depends.
He's starting.
He's going to start, so he's going to get those shots. He's going to get all those shots JJ got. So we get to really see if Austin Rivers was all his father's height, or if he's actually a hooper.
No, Austin Rivers had a very solid year last year. I think Austin Rivers possibly could have got some 6th man of the year votes, in my opinion, last year. Austin Rivers was solid last year.
Yeah, he was really solid last year.
He was very
He even shot 37% from the 3-point.
He made his daddy look like his daddy had common sense.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but now he can take it to another level. I can see Austin Rivers turning into like a Deion Waiters type of player for the Clippers. I think Deion Waiters could be Austin Rivers' ceiling. And if you're telling me that Deion is a potential all-star in the East, then I think Austin Rivers, from a sheer standpoint of on this team, has that same level of potential in terms of like scoring at the same rate.
I don't disagree with that.
So like I don't
disagree with that.
I think that this team, I think this Clipper team winds up, what did we say, 48 to get into the playoffs?
Yeah.
I honestly don't be surprised, and I'm saying it first, and it's not Chris Paul hate. I genuinely feel like they got better, and they got rid of Luke Mbah-a-Moute, who doesn't start anymore because literally you could not throw the man the ball. It was like throwing Andre Roberson the ball, and now he's in Houston. Fine, get rid of him. You got him. You still have Wesley Johnson. Like, you cool.
I mean, defensively they still have a very good team.
Harrell.
Defensively, they still have a very good team. The one thing about me is the Clippers don't really have any young talent. So where is your future? That's everywhere I look around, I see really no young talent. There's nobody who I look at like, oh, they're a prospect.
I disagree with that.
Who?
Montrezl Harrell?
No.
Yes.
No.
He's on, bro.
How good do you really think Montrezl Harrell can be?
Wait a minute. He's only in his second year. Last year, when he played 18 minutes a game, he averaged 9 points and he averaged 4 rebounds on that Houston team. Like, that's not bad. 9 points a game, him coming off the bench for DeAndre now. And, yes, him coming off the bench for DeAndre now. And now, honestly...
But do you see Harold as a guy who could potentially start for you in the future?
He's 23 years old. He's 23 years old. What DeAndre have on his deal? I mean, left on his deal 2 years.
Yeah.
So even so,
and he's undersized.
Okay.
He's 6'8".
Okay, so what?
I see like.
So what?
Montrezl Harrell at best is just an energy guy. At best.
But that's what you need, though. You need an energy guy.
But that's
you need
not
an energy
no
guy
real,
that's gonna be able to get you points.
Yeah, but still, that's
he's
not.
He's still young.
But that's not what I consider young talent.
He's a piece, though. He's a piece.
But there's no interesting young prospects. I think at best he's just a really good energy player. There's nobody where I'm like, yo, he could be an all-star in the future.
But you're not looking
even when we look at the Warriors, that's not exactly true. Even when we look at the Warriors, we still think
they got a potential all-star on their team.
Even when we look at the Warriors, we still say, yo, Patrick McCall could possibly be a potential all-star one day. I think he could. Potential fringe all-star.
I could.
Fringe all-star.
I could.
Somebody who makes one all-star game. I don't see anybody on the Clippers that I'm like, oh, this is young talent. Which is one thing that worries me. Because I don't see them really, they're not contending. They're pretty much in limbo right now. But I do still think for next year, they've recovered from Chris Paul nicely.
I think that they're contending. I'm telling you.
No, come on,
the
bro.
Clippers.
You don't believe that.
I'm telling you. Listen,
you don't believe that.
Listen.
You don't believe that.
Listen. If the Clippers at this point, last year they won 51 games, right? And now the Rockets have Chris Paul. I still don't know how that experiment is going to work. I still think it's going to take time. And Ryan Anderson is still your starting power forward, which although he's decent, he's a liability anywhere on the floor. Anywhere on the floor, period.
Agreed.
Period. And you have Trevor Ariza and Clint Capella, which is good. It really depends on Clint Capella's division. Growth. But let's just say that the Rockets don't get off to the start that everybody think they get off of, and they wind up being somewhere in the 50 to 52 win range. I honestly would not be surprised if the Clippers fucked around and won 50 to 52 games and snuck into the third thing. I think that the Warriors and the Spurs are going to be very at the top, and I think that the next teams are going to be down at least 10 to 12 games. I do. I think that you're going to see that clear division, and I think that the Clippers will be up there. I think the Thunder will be right in there. Yeah. I think the Trailblazers will be more like around like 47, 48, and I think that because even if you look at last year, the Clippers won 51 games, and then after them, and then they were tied with the Jazz. And then after them, it was OKC with 47, Memphis 43, the Trailblazers 41. So if we talk about 41 wins got you in last year, probably really 45 is going to get you in this year. If the Clippers are up and they win in around 49, 50 games, they have a potential to be up there, especially if the Rockets stumble out the
I think
gate.
the Clippers max are a potential 7th, 8th, max 6th seed. Max.
And honestly, even if the Clippers were the 7th seed, they would be scary to me versus the Spurs. Because
I'll give you that.
They always play the Spurs very tough.
I'll give you
and
that.
And you have to depend on Rudy Gay really in the first situation where you depended on him to be like the second guy, but actually be the guy. Not just show up.
He doesn't have to be the second guy. LaMarcus is
No. We very clearly saw last year LaMarcus Aldridge was not the second guy.
Yes, he was. He was decent when he was second.
LaMarcus Aldridge played like a flower in the sun in the playoffs. He was
against the Warriors.
He was shriveling up.
Against the Warriors.
He was shriveling
against
up.
the Warriors.
He was shriveling
against
up.
the Warriors.
LaMarcus Aldridge played like a flower in the sun last year.
Against the Warriors.
No.
Against the Warriors.
No.
LaMarcus is just LaMarcus. He's still the second option on this team. But you needed another wing scorer.
No,
and you went down and got Rudy.
I'm telling you.
Because you had no other wing scoring.
No. I'm not giving that to LaMarcus.
Regardless, though, I do agree. A Clippers Spurs series would not be a quick series. I think that's a series that could be a tough 6 or potentially go 7.
And a couple years ago, didn't the Clippers win in the same scenario?
No, the Spurs were the 7th seed.
Oh, the Spurs were okay. Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Man, wow, yeah, damn, that's crazy. But I honestly, if the Clippers play the Spurs in the first round, that is their path to the Western Conference Finals.
No.
Because if they play the Spurs in the first round, then they avoid the Warriors until the Western Conference Finals.
So they're gonna beat the Rockets in the next round.
I'm telling you, if the Clippers play the Rockets in the second round, the Clippers win. If the Clippers play the Rockets in the second round, the Clippers win.
I honestly wouldn't even be shocked by that. I honestly wouldn't be shocked by that.
If the Clippers play the Rockets in the second round, the Clippers are going to win. And it's going to be the most amazing thing to ever happen to me.
I wouldn't even be shocked by that.
Because I'm going to be vindicated. For all you people that call me crazy, I'm going to be vindicated.
I honestly would not. Like, that seems like something that would happen to Chris Paul.
Because then, if that happens, then that means that if the Rockets were actually the third seed, they would play the Rockets in the second round and avoid the Warriors until the Western Conference Finals.
It seemed like a defensive struggle by both teams all night long. What did you think of the way both teams kind of made it tough for the other one?
Yeah, it was a hard-fought game. PG hit a big shot down the stretch right there. That's on me. You know, I got to fight through that screen and not get picked.
Chris, you and Terrence both spent a lot of time guarding Paul. It seemed like both of you were effective. What led you guys to playing so well tonight?
Paul is tough. Paul is tough cover, man. I watched both the game against New Orleans and the game they played against Atlanta. You know what I mean? So just tried to make it tough on him.
You talk about Shea and kind of your relationship with Shea over the last couple of months, so kind of what you see out of that kid.
Shea, man, gonna be a star in my opinion. I'm probably a little biased.